what up? Welcome to SLC Punkcast Live and Wired and or Tales from the Pit. I am your host, The Unit. I'm just going to keep going with that title for right now. I'll make it a thing. It's already a thing, but I want to make it a wider thing. Anyway, this is the portion of the show where we talk about shows that we've attended and shows that are coming up that we want to attend or you may want to attend. And I'm going to be covering the local circuit, but before that, I do have a show to talk about that I happened to attend. I happened to remember that was going on. It happened to be the day of that I found out, and I happened to get there a little later than I anticipated. But that show, well, we'll get into that show. This is my episode of Tales from the Pit. So in this one, Tales from the Pit, I went to this show over at Aces where the band Danzig was playing. I'll talk about them in a minute. And I really didn't know what Danzig was until I got there, but what I mainly went to go see, who I mainly went to see was my friend Regan Ashton. He was the bassist and vocalist of the band Problem Daughter, one of my favorite local punk rock bands. I miss those guys so much. They put such amazing songs together. I've talked about them on the show a couple of times before, and yeah, I may have to talk about them again, but it's been so long. But yeah, they broke up some 5 or 6 years ago, and Regan ended up moving over to Chicago. And I think earlier this year, just about a year ago, he came back, and now he's here to stay. And I hadn't seen him in so long, so I wanted to go there. I wanted to see him perform, but I got there as his set ended. So I'm like, fuck, I missed Regan. But in all, it was great to just see him. It was great to catch up with him and just get all buddy-buddy. He's telling me of some of the stuff he's got planned with the future. He's reconnected with the former guitarist of Problem Daughter, Tyler, and also my friend Sid, who used to drum for my band, is currently drumming in Frick. And they're gonna start putting together some more new music that's in the same sonic vein of Problem Daughter. And I'm just like, oh, fucking tell me when you guys release new music. I will have it up on the Punkcast. I want to be talking about it. I want to listen to it. You guys are exciting me. So yeah, I may not have been able to see him perform, but the trip wasn't a total loss. And me and my girlfriend, we sat out back talking with Regan, and also talking with my friend Conrad, who is from the Never Don'ts. And he was and just listening to him and Regan talk to each other is hilarious. At one point, they started talking about Dropkick Murphys. Regan just going off how he's saying he still loves the Al Barr era, and Conrad talking about how he prefers the Mike McColgan releases, and Al Barr had some good, and then they were just they wouldn't even let each other finish each other's sentences. And then me and Kay just sort of zoned out for a minute, started talking amongst each other for maybe 30 seconds. Then we get back, we're hearing their arguments as more background noise. It's all background noise, it's all whatever. And then we come back, and then they're all of a sudden talking about Lord of the Rings. And then it's just do you know who gave Gandalf his name? And me and Kate just look at each other. We're laughing our fucking asses off. It's okay, they're going to be here for a minute talking about Lord of the Rings, Gandalf, Tom Bombadil, and all this other shit. I'm okay. And then we ignore him for a little bit. Still just a continuous stream of noise until we tune back in. And now the Wizard of Oz is the Wizard, how the fuck did you get to the Wizard of Oz? Well, I don't even care about the show now. I'm just I'm entertained by this. I told them they gotta start a podcast. They gotta start a podcast where it's just them. I even told them call it Lord of the Rants, because you love talking about Lord of the Rings. So I give them that idea. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't. I don't know if these guys have the attention span necessary to create something outside of a musical project, but whatever. It was still a lot of fun. Now for the other band that was playing, Danzig. Danzig is actually a cover band for Misfits, Danzig, and Samhain. So all the bands that Glenn Danzig was a part of. So yeah, it was kind of obvious, the name. But what made them Danzig? Well, they were all wearing aprons that employees wore when they worked at Joann's. Some of them were Joann's employees, but that company has since closed down, gone under. So no more Joanne. So I think it's funny that, yeah, it's a fun pun. It's a fun pun what's going on there, Danzig, but they're actually like going full send with it. And they did decent renditions. They had great renditions of some of the classic Misfits, Danzig, and Samhain songs. I mean, I'm not too familiar with Samhain's work. That's probably the Danzig project I've listened to the least. Not any disrespect, not because I hate it or anything, it just never quite got around to it. But of course, they were playing a lot of the great Misfits songs, they're playing Hybrid Moments, they're playing Some Kind of Hate, and also, I forget what song they closed with. Maybe it was Some Kind of Hate. Or no, I think it was Where Eagles Dare. No, it doesn't close. That doesn't matter. If you think of a Misfits song, you think of a classic Misfits song, Danzig era, yeah, they probably fucking played it. They probably played it. They played a lot of the good Danzig songs. Definitely played Mother. I was like, yeah, Mother, I heard it a million times. I just whatever. So anyway, it was a good show. It sort of inadvertently semi-happened upon. I mean, I was kind of planning on going. I just knew that Regan was playing a show at some time, and I just didn't remember when it was. I obviously didn't remember. I didn't talk about this show. Like, I didn't talk about it. Like, I didn't present it or announce it or share it in any of the previous Live and Wired episodes. So yeah, it obviously flew way out of my radar, but at least I got to go. May not have seen Regan perform, may not have seen my friend perform, but at least it was good to talk with him and visit with him. Still the same old guy. Love him. Anyway, for shows that are coming up, we got a lot of good shows. I mean, there have been plenty of good shows that have been happening, but yeah, October was a bit of a loaded month, and there's still some of that swill carrying over into the month of November, and it is so with these shows happening on the 8th. First, Fit for a King, Make Them Suffer, Spite, and 156 Silence. That's going to be at the Complex for $39.20 starting at 6 p.m. And then also on the 8th, there is a... Jesus Christ, I cannot fucking speak. There is going to be the American Horror EP release party. That is Wicked Temple's new release. And they'll be playing with Acid Hologram at the Ice House. That is a $10 show, and it is going to be starting at 8 p.m. And also, there's going to be a show at my house at the Poser Palace. The bands Sectide, Luxic, Safe and Silence, and Pure Stink. Or maybe Safe and Silence dropped off. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. That'll be at my house in Poser Palace. That's a $5 show, and we're gonna be opening up at 6 p.m. And by the way, I got to make a correction. The Fit for a King show is at the Union, not the Complex. The Union had that. Yeah, just remember it's not at that venue. Yeah, the Union. My bad. Then going into the 12th. Holder is coming through on their Offerings to the Other World tour. They'll be playing with Harvest of Ash and Al Ghul at the Metro. That is a $37 show, and it starts at 7 p.m. Now, the 14th has got a lot going on that day. First, we have Godot, Acid Hologram, Gracemaker, and First Grade Fight Club. Fucking love that name. They're going to be playing at Ace's High Saloon at 8 p.m. It is a $15 show. Then also a bit up north in Ogden, Drop the Gloves, Choose Death, death spelled as in death clock, and Unseen Corners be playing up at the Funkin' Dive. That is a cheap little $5 show starting at 8 p.m. And then the ever so popular Boris are coming through on their 20th anniversary tour of their album Pink. And they will be playing at the Urban Lounge with Cloakroom. We don't have an official flyer. There hasn't been an official flyer released, but this is the tour poster. You can see all the bands that have been touring with them throughout this huge continental tour. So pretty awesome that they're coming back. Anyway, it's Urban Lounge, $39, starts at 7 p.m. And then on the 15th, we got a few shows happening. Well, two. First, there is Sacrilegion, Exclusionist, Through Eternal Mourning, Mortis at the Black Lung Society up in Ogden. That is a $12 show, going to be starting at 8 p.m. And finally, the mighty Thrice is coming to Salt Lake with Modern Color and Downward. That'll be at the Union. It's been a few years since Thrice has played here. I can't remember the last time they were here. It was a few years ago, I want to say. Yeah, and before that, it was I think before that, at least the time I saw them was when they're on tour with Rise Against and Deftones. What a crazy lineup that is. But anyway, this time they will be playing at the Union. Admission is $41.80. Starts at 7 p.m. Okay, guys, I got a show that I have to get to. I am going to see Death to All tonight. That is the band that is basically a tribute band to Death with the late Chuck Schuldinger's son in his place as lead vocalist and lead guitarist. And that show is going on right now. I need to get there before they start. So once again, I am the Unit from SLC Punkcast, Live and Wired, Tales from the Pit. I hope you guys make it out to any of the shows that I have mentioned, or I hope you make it out to shows in general. And I hope that you return unscathed. And if you do return with some scathing, then hopefully you have a cool story to go along with it. Create your own Tales from the Pit. Anyway, once again, I'm the Unit. I'm going to turn it over to Dustin. He's going to tell you about some of the other nationwide tours. And I will see you in the pit next week.
Thank you, Eric. And now we go around the world in no particular order, as per usual. We're going to start with a show this Saturday, the 8th. It's at O'Brien's Pub in Alston, and I want to say that is Massachusetts, as if you look at the bands on there, a lot of them are from the Boston area. Bad Terms, they're doing their record release show. Poor Impulse Control, Battery March, Impact Driver, The Workers. It is loaded. It's $15, 21 and older. Also features DJ Gabe. So get there when the doors open at 7. But if you can't, just know the music starts at 8. Next up, our pals in Krang. They've got a couple shows. They're at Monkey's Music Club in Germany in Hamburg today, the 7th. And then in Bremen at Zollkantin. Also tomorrow. And then next weekend, they will be at Czechia at Jablonek nad Nizu, and they will be at Coburg in Coburg in Germany at Yuku's Cosmos on the 15th, and then they got one more show at the end of the month supporting Ignite. Then this weekend in Upper Darby, PA, near Philly, Hostel City Weekender 3. Man, it's loaded. 2 days of punk, oi, tattoos, and vendors featuring on the 7th, which looks like doors at 5. It's $20 in advance, 25-day of show. And tomorrow, by the way, doors are at 4. 30 in advance, 35-day of. Save yourself some money. Hopefully you already bought your tickets at that 2-day pass of $45. But if not, get yourself to American Legion Post 214 in Upper Darby anyway. You'll get to see Rebelmatic, Incendiary Device, Rambler, Ravagers, The Fiends, Impact Driver, Little Bambinos, and Membranes today, Friday. And then on the 8th, Lower Class Brats, The Virus, FOD, Blank 77, Broken Heroes, Dusters, The Stress, Doc Rotten, Flipside, and Broiled Humanoid. Loaded lineup there. On the 8th, this one's in Baltimore, and it's, I can't tell what the venue is. It looks like, I can't tell. It's in Baltimore, though, and there's your address, 1728 North Charles Street. So regardless of the venue, you know where to be. Doors are at 7. It's $10 cash to get in. Tomorrow, the 8th, it's 21 and older. Go see Orlando Furioso HC, Bad to Worse, The Stivs, and Fashion Crime. Some cool bands we have played. Some bands, at least, we've played. I don't know who the Orlando Furiosa is. I'm obviously need to check them out if they're playing with all those other cool bands. Then we're going to head to Long Beach, California on the 21st. This one's probably the furthest one out, but going to plug the show for our pals, The Afraid, who are playing with 1 Square Mile, Ham Apple, and The Ponds. It is at Di Piazza in Long Beach. $7 in advance, $10 at the door. It is an all-ages show, so get the all-ages out there. Looks like pre-sale is on Eventbrite if you would like. 8 p.m. And again, Friday the 21st, go see our pals in The Afraid. Beton Army just started yesterday, the 6th, in Montreal. Their tour of, well, we'll just call it North America because they did include Montreal there. Doing a quick scan to see if they bounce into Canada. I'm sure they play Canada plenty. Oh, they'll be wrapping up in Toronto, so we'll just call it North America. But this upcoming week, Boston today, New York City tomorrow on the 9th, in Philly, at Pittsburgh on the 10th, Cleveland 11th, Baltimore 13th, 14th in Richmond, Nashville on the 15th and the 16th in Atlanta. They will be playing with Dark Thoughts on most of the shows, not all the shows. Yesterday and today doesn't look like Dark Thoughts, but otherwise it looks like Dark Thoughts are playing with the rest. They just released earlier this year Renaissance, so they're out playing their new tracks for Renaissance that came out in June, and we featured that album last night or on the most recent episode of SLC Punkcast, episode 441, so check that out. They'll be going across the U.S. They'll be hitting us in Salt Lake at Kilby Court on the 5th. So we'll be mentioning this one on the upcoming weeks, but you can follow along with them, BetonArmy_514 if you would like. Our pal Johnny Elbows and his band, The Loyal, are going to be playing with The Boy Detective. They got added on in place of Jay Navarro's band, who had to drop, unfortunately, for Thursday, November 13th. That's next week at Frankie's in Toledo, Ohio. It's $10 in advance, $15 at the door. The Boy Detective doing their Disco Lunch tour. I think that was the name of their new album. They just released an album. Dad's on Couches, Frank White and Saban also playing on that. It's 7 p.m. Go check out our pals in The Loyal with The Boy Detective. Then we will go to, looks like it's at Love Hurts Tattoo in Chico, California. You'll be getting to see Slugger, Anti, Neighborhood Threat, The Maimers. That's on the 8th, November 8th. It's $5, 7 p.m. No drugs, no booze, no problems. Show up to Love Hurts Tattoo in Chico. And I'm going to wrap up and leave you with this one brought to us by Nothing Less Booking. It's a San Bernardino backyard gig featuring Desmadre, Golpe, SOH, Spunk, Age of Fear, and Mage, M-E-I-J-J, Mage. It's an all-ages show. Doors are at 7. No bottles, no alley parking. Entrance through the alley, though. It's $15 pre-sale, and the tickets are pre-sale available through Eventbrite. Cool Cat Tattoo in Bloomington, California, and cool artwork by Nanu_art. You can go check that out. Did the art for both the POW Records logos as well. So thank you for tuning in this week on Live and Wired and Eric's brief tale from the pit. It sounds like, obviously, he had to get going, so he's going to have one for you next week. We'll catch you on the next one.